afternoon, everyone. This is Talisa at DIY Living by Talisa Lindsay. Today, we are going to do a cute little nautical themed DIY brought to you by most of the items at Dollar Tree. I'm sorry, I just had to add a little humor into that. So anyhow, back to the DIY. We have 2 wood pallets that came from the Dollar Tree, and I am using my Waverly Wax Antique. I love this color of stain, and so you will see me probably use it quite a bit in most of my projects. So I'm applying 1 coat to both of them first. And as you can tell, I do realize looking at it now that it looks like one of them are a little bit darker in the stain. So sometimes that happens when it comes to your wood. The wood absorbs differently. So you may have to apply more than 1 coat on some of your projects. I'm also using that same stain and applying it on 4 of the popsicle sticks that you see in the project, but there will be a total of 5 that we'll be using. It's just one of them is going to be used as a tool. Now you see me using the Vaseline. You can also find this at Dollar Tree. I love using this technique. It gives you like a very farmhouse, rustic, chippy look. Something I love to do quite often. And I also call it shabby chic if you want to. But I just apply it in the creases mostly and around the outer edges as well. And here you'll take notice, I saw that the stain didn't match that well with the first slat of wood that you'll see next to it, so I decided just to add a second layer of stain. Now there's some places I get a little heavier than others with the Vaseline, just because I wanted to make it look more chippy in some areas than others maybe. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we go to apply the paint. So now we're going to be using the white chalk paint. That's going to be the best, I feel, when it comes to doing this type of project. It sticks really well to the surface, but also lifts really well when you go to get the chippy look that you're looking for. And you can tell already if you look closely, the areas that didn't apply the white paint as much, that is where the Vaseline is keeping it separated. Now I'm just using my blow dryer to help speed up the process a little bit. And here comes the fun part. Now that string was getting in my way, so I decided to go ahead and cut both of the jute strings off. I can reapply them later. And here I'm taking the popsicle stick, running it down the palette wood, and you can see where that Vaseline was. It helps pick up that paint and the stain at the same time. It just really gives it a unique style. And you can already see the difference between the two, how chippy the first one looks. And now we're going to make that same look for the second one. I think it looks so cool. I love the look of that. It's just awesome. So now we're going to take our paint, the sticks that we have, the popsicle sticks. And I don't measure anything. Like I said, I'm one of those that like to eyeball things. I don't stress over my crafting. It's not fun for me if I do. So I just flip it over, use my ink pen, and use that as my measuring tool. And I eyeball it for both pieces of wood. And I honestly can say I think I got pretty good at it. So this tool that I'm using to cut this is a gardening scissors that came from Dollar Tree as well. And I'm just going to cut the edges off of the popsicle sticks. I find they're also very friendly to use because it doesn't cause the wood to chip or split as well. I'm taking a little bit of that leftover paint that was on the paintbrushes and just applying it around the outer edges, just to break up a little bit of that brown, but not paint too much. And here I'm just using the Gorilla Glue that I use for most of my projects. And I'm going to put a border at the top and near the bottom. Now you can see I'm just kind of laying things out before I decide how I'm going to glue it down. And I'm also deciding what color of paint that I want to go with on coloring and painting both of the anchor and the sailboat. I had 3 choices there. So I decided to go with something that was called a sea foam. It's by Delta, satin finish. That's what I chose to go with. I believe you can find that at Hobby Lobby. And I use the white chalk paint for the half beads, which you can find the half beads at Amazon where I found mine. Here I go applying that seafoam blue. I think it's really, really pretty. It's not too dark of an aqua, and it's not too soft of a blue, but it's somewhere in between. On the very bottom of the sailboat, I chose to go with the white chalk paint just so that it would help bring the color a little bit different. This is fishnet that I have cut up that you will also find in the party supply section at Dollar Tree. And so I just want to take a small section of that, apply it. No rhyme or reason as to how I'm putting it on there, just whatever visually looked appealing to me, and then I'm tacking it down with the Gorilla Glue. I also I had attached a jute string around the anchor. I just felt like it gave it a little bit more of a whimsical look by doing that. So I wrapped it around that, tack it down with the Gorilla Glue. You can see I'm just securing that nut in place. And then I'm applying the 4 half beads on each corner with the Gorilla Glue. And then just tilting it to the corner a little bit. And using the same fishnet, I'm going to apply it to the second half of the piece of wood. I'm just using the end of the glue gun as well to help kind of keep it in place until it bonds to the wood. That way I'm not using my finger and pressing it into the glue. Again, apply your 4 beads to each corner. And now that we're applying the sailboat down, I'm going to tilt that just a little bit as well. And then there was sea glass and seashells that you will find at Dollar Tree as well that I used to make this cute little nautical turtle that I put down right up underneath that sailboat. Just thought it was whimsical and fun. Now I know a lot of you always ask about where I get my hats at, so you can obviously see the brim of this one being cheetah. You will find it at Walmart. That's where I got it from. And then I'm just applying a few dots with my Waverly chalk paints to give it a little bit of a whimsical feel. I would love for you guys as well to come and visit me over at DIYLivingByTalisaLindsay.com. Also make sure that you follow me over at Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all the places, of course, but more so even here at Facebook. So if you love the quick tutorials, I'd love for you guys to stop over here and just check us out because we upload quite a bit. But you can see I'm applying this cute, adorable little bow at the very top to tie it off. And there is that little turtle that I think is coming in right now. And then I'm taking my most favorite item I'm using right now, which is a silver pen, and applying a little bit of detail around the anchor, the inside of it, and then making those cute little silver birds that are highlighted in the background of the sailboat. Here I'm going to be using the jute string, using a neutral farmhouse bead, just so I can tie a little bit of that color that's coming in with the fishnet. And then I'm going to tie it off and do the same for the second piece of wood. I think they're so adorable, but of course use whatever color you like for the DIY you're wanting to do. This is just an inspiration to get your thoughts going. So I hope that you love today's DIY. And again, see us at DIYLivingByTalisaLindsay.com.